This summer, my family took a road trip to northern Ontario. As my father-in-law gets older, he wanted the chance to do the historical tour with my children while he could still show them around where he grew up in Sault Ste. Marie. On our way there, breaking up the drive, we were driving through a town called Blind River. And hunger and various other things called, and so we decided to stop at the truck stop there. There were a number of local cute places that promised things that my wife and I would certainly have enjoyed. Instead, we ended up at Subway. And while we were there waiting in line, we went up to make our order and turned around. And a woman there standing in a black t-shirt, and all it said on the front was, "Dead inside." If we're honest, some of us may be feeling that way this evening. Maybe we're grieving partners or parents or children, or friends, or loved ones. And perhaps it feels like in that grief, we're actually grieving some part of ourselves that is dead inside or has died and will no longer feel the way we once did. If that's you today, I want to just say that it takes tremendous courage to even enter this space, because you know better than I do that to enter this space and to light a candle and to be here takes courage to face the death, to face the wound that we have that may have scarred over or may still be in tremendous need of healing. Jesus speaks to a crowd today, to a bunch of folks who come out and we're told that they're hungry and they're thirsty, and he promises to fulfill that hunger and that thirst. And he declares, "Anyone who comes to me, I will never drive away." And in the midst of the emergencies and the ambulances and the things outside and the things within that are crying out for help, this one Jesus comes into our midst, into the midst of a crowd. And this one, only this one, has come not to do his own will, but the will of the God who sent him. I don't know anyone like that. God's will, Jesus says, that not one person is lost. Not one person that is beloved by God will be lost. That is God's will, and Jesus says that's what he's come to fulfill and to do. And the way God envisaged this was at a cross. And rather than us coming up higher or pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps or getting our S together before we come to God, God comes down to where we are. One of my favorite quotes comes from the Catholic theologian von Balthasar, and he says this: "Christ has fallen to the lowest place so that all our falling might be a falling onto him." At the cross, Christ, who is God's Son, the beloved one, becomes the rejected one. robes himself in all the sin and the pain and the death and the hopelessness and the feeling of dead inside, and goes down to the grave and down to hell and does away with it all. Christ becomes the rejected one who turns away no one. He becomes the lost one who goes searching to find us. He becomes the crucified one who raises us and those we love to new life. Christ who gives us courage to face our woundedness and our death, even sometimes the death on the inside, and gives us courage to know that those things will not be forever, that feeling of death and all the other feelings on the inside will yet give way and yield to eternal life. That's the promise of the incarnation, of God taking on flesh and being with us and doing away death for all time.